26 days of the war, that's nearly 4 weeks, nearly a month that this war has been playing out in Ukraine. Many believe that there would be some breakthrough in the talks between Russia and Ukraine. That hasn't happened yet. Yes, there have been some positive updates that have come in, but it hasn't stopped Russia's invasion just yet. It hasn't meant a full withdrawal of their troops from Ukraine. And that's why key Ukrainian cities continue to be battered by Russian airstrikes. Several buildings in the capital city of Kyiv have suffered damage from relentless Russian bombardment. Irpin, which is on the outskirts of Kyiv, many homes caught fire as a result of Russian shelling, busting Russian claims that they're not targeting civilian infrastructure. In Energodar, unarmed people surrounded armed Russian personnel, forcing Russian troops to retract. While Russia continues to escalate their assault, Ukrainian citizens are now coming out on the streets, undeterred by the threat. They're saying that they're going to fight back no matter what it takes. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, has stated that he is more than willing to have talks with Vladimir Putin, but warned that failure of diplomacy can result in a World War III-like situation, something that several other world leaders have also, in fact, warned about. Everyone's talking about NATO, their role in this war, etc., is because so far in the talks that have happened between Russia and Ukraine, there hasn't been any mega breakthrough. There have been positive developments, and there have been, of course, everyone hoping that it will lead to the end of this war. It hasn't happened so far. It's led to also a massive casualty count in Ukraine, with Ukrainian authorities claiming that over 200 people have died in the capital city of Kyiv alone because of the war that spanned for over 25 days now.
Damage, debris, and devastation on the streets of Ukraine cities. Russia continues to up its offensive on Ukraine with deadly aerial attacks in most of the cities. In Mykolaiv, Russian rockets hit a military base, reducing it to rubble. At least 15 bodies were recovered from under the debris. In one of the most horrifying attacks, a railway track was shelled, causing a massive explosion. The attack at an undisclosed location shows the detonation after the airstrike on the railway tracks on a bridge. The bridge completely destroyed after the attack. In Dnipro, repeated shellings leveled multiple residential buildings, bringing them to the ground. Black smoke engulfed the entire neighborhood and fire raged on for hours after the scary strike. Multiple shellings and missiles continue to pound the city. The residential buildings of the city of Kharkiv are in ruins due to multiple airstrikes. The second largest Ukraine city has seen most punishing airstrikes by the Russian forces using missiles and fighter jets. The besieged Mariupol continues to be the worst hit. Authorities claim that the Russian troops bombed an art school where 400 civilians took refuge. Multiple fatalities are feared in the strike. A convoy of buses evacuating Mariupol residents were also halted by the Russian troops. The capital city of Ukraine has seen massive casualties. At least 228 civilians, including 4 kids, have died since the beginning of the war. In a first, Russia has claimed that it has used hypersonic Kinzhal missiles to attack parts of Ukraine. The missiles, traveling at 5 times the speed of sound, took out a large weapons depot in western Ivano-Frankivsk region.
18 марта авиационным ракетным комплексом «Кинжал» On March 18th, Kinzhal missile system armed with hypersonic aeroballistic missiles destroyed a large Ukrainian forces underground depot contained missiles and aircraft ammunition in the settlement of Delitin of Ivano-Frankivsk region in western Ukraine.
населенных пунктах Великий Дальник и Великодолинской Одесской области.
But Ukraine continues to fight back like never before, shooting down Russian jets and destroying military tanks. Ukrainian President Zelensky issued a stern warning, saying that the war can destroy the victim as well as the invader. He also appealed Russia for peace talks.
Тому переговори про мир.
Negotiations about peace, about security for us, about security for Ukraine are substantial, fair and without delays. This is the only chance for Russia to reduce the harm from its own mistakes. We were always insisting on the negotiations. We were always offering dialogue, offering a solution for peace.
Despite Putin intensifying attack on Ukraine, Zelensky has vowed to fight till the very end. The Ukrainian president also suspended activities of 11 political parties with Russian links in a cleanup drive. In Ukraine, Bureau Report, India Today.
Our next report perhaps sums up the grim reality of war like no other, because we're going to show you images of what Ukraine, a beautiful country, looked like before this war just 26 days ago versus now, where some of the massive cities of Ukraine are now left with nothing but death and destruction all around.
The Russian onslaught continues, approaching a month and counting. Ruthless Russian troops are destroying railway lines, shelling residential buildings, flattening civilian hideouts, claiming lives in bulk. The extent of the damage caused to erstwhile picturesque Ukrainian cities are horrifying and beyond the realm of words. The city of Chernihiv has been witnessing massive attacks by the Russian troops. Fire continues to rage on in residential and commercial buildings. Plumes of black smoke from buildings that have faced back-to-back shelling in the area. The images from the city of Dnipro paints a devastating picture. Charred buildings and burned trees across the city show the extent of non-stop airstrikes that the city has been witnessing. Most of the buildings are reduced to rubble. The few standing are pockmarked with impact of explosions. The aftermath of attacks on Kharkiv are horrifying. Residential buildings heavily damaged by Russian shellings. Parts of the town, once brimming with life, have now turned into a ghost town. The streets of Kharkiv continue to witness bloodbath, lying in ruins, turning into a complete ghost city. As Russia attacks from all sides, Ukraine is bleeding and left to fend for itself. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, Russia has very publicly stated, put out videos also to confirm that they're targeting military establishments. Over the weekend, they also confirmed the use for the first time of a hypersonic missile, Kinzhal, to target you had a military establishment in western Ukraine being targeted in that strike. And this is the first time that Russia has gone on record to state that, yes, we've used this high-precision weapon.
A deadly missile which destroys its target with devastating ferocity and with unimaginable speed. Before you breathe, blink or have any chance to respond, traveling 5 times the speed for sound, or at an astounding speed of nearly 6,200 kilometers an hour. Enter the super deadly and lightning fast hypersonic Kinzhal missile system, the Russian word for dagger. Kremlin has let the world know that it used the hypersonic missiles to destroy a large weapons depot in Ukraine's Ivano-Frankivsk region. Russia posted a video saying its missiles struck the arms depot in Delyatin, a village in southwestern Ukraine, only 100 kilometers from the border with Romania.
18 марта авиационным ракетным комплексом «Кинжал»
On March 18th, Kinzhal missile system armed with hypersonic aeroballistic missiles destroyed a large Ukrainian forces underground depot contained missiles and aircraft ammunition in the settlement of Delyatin of Ivano-Frankivsk region in western Ukraine.
в населенных пунктах Великий Дальник и Великодолинской Одесской области.
There is currently no way to stop or intercept the hypersonic missiles because they can change direction while mid-flight. Hypersonic cruise missiles are propelled by a high-speed jet engine and not gravitational forces used by traditional ballistic missiles. Russia may have used the MiG-31 fighters to deploy the missiles, which can carry both nuclear and conventional warheads. In any case, this is a massive step up for Russian invasion forces, accused of using oxygen-killing thermo-aerobic vacuum bombs and targeting civilian areas and committing unimaginable war crimes. Will the Western countermeasures and counter-strike military hardware supplied to Ukraine be able to defeat Russia's game-changing missile strikes? With Rajesh Pawar in Kyiv, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the reason the world is currently talking about this development, about Russia confirming the use of the hypersonic missile, is because the Kinzhal missile is also capable of carrying nukes. Sneha Mordani breaks down all the details that you need to know about this weapon.
Let's tell you a little more about the killer Kinzhal missile. It's a super-fast, low-flying and maneuverable speed of 6,000 kilometers per hour. The speed is 5 times that of sound. It can hit targets 2,000 kilometers away. The payload capacity is 480 kilograms and can carry nukes, conventional warheads, propelled by high-speed jet engine. It doesn't follow a preset flight path and can change trajectory mid-flight. There's no way to stop or intercept this missile.